So there are two people that are watching these videos. One, you've been doing this for a very long time. And YouTube has picked up your love for the outdoors, and this channel has popped up on your feed. And two, the people who are just getting into it, and so they're searching for all of these things. But that leaves out a major population of adult leaders, and that is the ones that just want the program to get better, but running out of ideas or need a fresh set of eyes. I need your help to help beat that algorithm. I need you to like the video. I need you to subscribe, because then you help me beat the algorithm. And with that, we can grow this program to maybe somebody who's thinking about putting their kid in Scouts sees this video and goes, wow, that's kind of cool. I want to put my kid in that program. If you have ever been to a camp out and nothing happened except food and sleeping and lounging and maybe some games, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. If you've ever been to a camp out and the Scouts wanted to play more than do anything else, go ahead and hit that like button. We go camping once a month. And still, every time we go camping, the Scouts sit around and play baseball with a rock and a stick, or worse, get into a sword fight. And the adults are sitting around wondering, why aren't we doing any advancements? So today we're going to talk about how do we incorporate our requirements into a camp out. So getting my Scouts to do more requirements on their camp out has always been an area that I was afraid to take over, or perhaps I'd be pushing the Scouts too much, but took a little time and we figured out little ways that, one, we can get our Scouts to take responsibility for the program, and two, get the Scouts to do those requirements that the adults desperately want them to do. I mean, what's the point of doing all of this if we're not getting our advancement in the process? But it comes down to 3 steps. The first step starts the PLC. Getting the PLC involved in a camp planning is the crucial, most important step. Your SPL talks to the patrol leaders at the PLC and finds out, hey, what is your patrol's requirements lacking? Where areas do we need to work on? You New Year's Scouts, is there anything that we can do to help you with advancement? You Scouts that are stuck at second class, why are we stuck at second class? That PLC allows the SPL and the Scoutmaster to figure out what requirements need to be done at a camp. Once we have that list, we can then call the camp and say, what amenities do you have? For example, some camps have an actual pool, not a lake, not a river, but an actual pool. That's a great place for the Scouts to earn that line and tender rescue from first class, or your life-saving merit badge Scouts can work on their water rescues. So calling ahead and saying, okay, this is what we have. I have these Scouts that need that, so check, we can get that taken care of at camp. Another one you want to think of when planning ahead is a backup plan. How many times have we gone to camp with Dutch ovens ready to go, but we're in a burn ban and charcoal is still not allowed? It's only on the stove. So Scouts that were prepared to do a Dutch oven meal may have to rethink their menu. But the biggest thing when it comes to planning ahead is don't absorb the entire time with camping requirements. Fastest way to make sure a Scout does not want to go camping again is to don't let them have fun. So you can get a lot of requirements done within about an hour or 2 hours. That's not including the cooking requirements, just the knots, the lashings, and other various things. But still save time for them to have fun, because then they get to have their cake and eat it too. Number 2, ask your adults to lead something. Look, I desperately want to say that my scouts are the greatest scouts that ever lived, and they hands down can teach every skill, but in reality, that's not the case. My adults, however, are a little more experienced and can teach those skills, say knife sharpening or the knots, because God knows that once a scout learns a knot, chances of them remembering it are very slim. So you can ask your adults to teach a axe sharpening skill, or maybe even if they can teach a different way to make fires. So like flint and steel, maybe one of your ASMs is really good at that. Ask them to help lead a session. One resource that I have discovered is former military. Now, this doesn't go for every branch of the military, but I've been lucky enough that it's applied to me. And if I have a former military, I'll ask them to teach a navigation to the scouts. Because then the scouts learn that, oh, this is how it's done in the military. And chances are it's going to be the same or better than what the scout book's going to teach. But asking an adult to teach a skill is probably going to sink in with the youth better. I know some scouts don't respond well to older scouts. They want to play, and it's hard to take them serious whenever they're just 3 years older than them. But if an adult steps in, now the scouts are more likely to listen and actually learn the skill. Number 3, turn it into a merit badge class. There are a lot of merit badges that are centered around the outdoors. Pioneering, cooking, first aid. A lot of the aquatics have an area that isn't completed at a summer camp, or maybe your scout doesn't get the opportunity to go to summer camp, so they need to go swim, or they need to show life-saving skills. So if we plan ahead, those scouts can then at that point pick up the rest of that merit badge, or start the merit badge at that camp. Instead of saying, oh, my scouts do their merit badges only at summer camp, we can do them at regular camps too. So plan ahead, ask your adults to lead a skill session, and apply a merit badge at your campouts. And now your scouts are going to be on a path to advancing and getting that rank that they're looking for. As scouts don't usually know what they've done is a requirement until after you point it out to them. There's no harm in that. There's no, oh, I'm stepping on the scout lead. No. If a scout cooks a meal, you walk up to him and say, hey, that was a cooking requirement. Or hey, that was a first class requirement. Why don't you get your book and look through it? What other advancements have you done this week that are requirements? So take a few minutes and read over your book. So like I've said in a previous episode, it's hard to say this is the line I won't cross. That's adventuring into adult lead. But in reality, scouts don't know what they don't know. Some troops are rebuilding. They are starting from square one, and they don't have any of those older scouts. They have to step in and train these scouts on how to get advancement into the program. Use these 3 topics to make sure your program is inside your campouts. The requirements are going to be done. It's not hard. It's not magical. It's just guiding and enabling your scouts to advance while on campouts. One thing that I have done is I've told all my scouts that when they first join, I want you to sit down in your book, and I want you to go on the left-hand side. I want you to mark a C for a campout and an M for a meeting. And so now the scout can sit at home or in their free time and look at those advancements and say, oh, this has to be done at camp, or this has to be done in a meeting. And hopefully, over some time, they start putting it together, and now they don't have to be told. They got a list of requirements that can be done in a meeting or beforehand, and just show up to the meeting ready for you to get it signed off. So that's all we have time for today, guys. But I want to leave you with a little piece of news. I'm going to be starting a new podcast with one of my kiddos who just joined the troop. It's going to be a Scout's own journey. He and I will be going over a Scout's perspective of the program starting at day one. We're already started recording, but I want to get a few episodes deep before we put them out there. So keep a lookout for that, guys. It'll be audio only on wherever you get your podcasts. So until then, guys, as always, go out, have fun, and don't forget to scout on purpose.